So it's Wednesday, day 199, and it's 8 a.m. I have 1 day left to pay my taxes with the IRS here, okay? 1 day left, so I need to pay it within day 200. That means I need to pay it tomorrow, all right, at most. I've got 5.1 million, so I'm basically there, and our income has somewhat returned to near what it was before we started adding another jewelry store and kind of depleted our supply. That was the problem. We had too many jewelry stores, not enough supply for the expensive jewelry. Now, I've had, again, there's been several people who just don't think factories are worth it, and I think you're not seeing the big picture. So this video, I'm going to unequivocally prove to you that the factories are completely worth it. Because, first off, we're going to go one more day because I need to restore supply. So you're going to see all of these are still there. Best Jewels, Midtown Riches, they still don't have an expensive jewelry supply. Are we producing enough? Let's take a look. So I'm going to go to the business manager. Let's start with the middle finger because this is a business I know is getting its full supply. It's because our logistics people are delivering here first. If I go over to my inventory, we can see that expensive jewelry, we sold 182 in the last 7 days. The important thing is the stock count. My logistics person is told to put 200 in this store every day. So there's 189 in here at 9 a.m. So this is very close to 200. We're almost filled on that. Okay. Let's go to a different jewelry store. Let's go to Industry Jewels. Okay. We go to inventory pricing, expensive jewelry. They've been told to put 300 in this store. They're not open yet. Okay. There's 300 in here. So we have expensive jewelry totally in stock now in Industry Jewels and almost entirely in stock in middle finger, which means tomorrow we will start to get more supply, hopefully in Midtown Riches, because Midtown Riches is the best place for me to sell the jewelry. And then Best Jewels is pretty good too. Based on price, it's pretty good too. But we don't have any stock in here because that's just how it is. They're not spreading out the supply. And that's just how it goes. Midtown Riches, again, we go over to expensive jewelry. There's none in stock. That's why we can't sell it here. So when I go one more day, and I know it's kind of a waste, maybe why don't we, play video games and stuff instead so we can keep our happiness up with the time passage. If we go one more day, we're going to see that another one of our stores are now going to start getting the supply. Okay. And that's an important thing because it directly impacts our daily income. So we're going to go like this. One more day like that. Let's go ahead and sleep, and we'll sleep until, let's say, 8:44 a.m. No problem. Just go ahead and run to bed. That makes sense. All right, so just under 600K today. We're still going to get logistics alerts about supplies, but now we can see that Midtown Riches is starting to get jewelry delivered. Okay, so we have just Best Jewels now that doesn't have any supply. If we take a look really quick at our supply again, we go to, let's see, the middle finger, inventory and pricing, and we can see that you have 200. We filled your shelves. That's what we wanted. We can come down to Industry Jewels. They should have 300 right there. 300. Now, let's go to Midtown Riches. It's the next store that we started delivering to. We got 153 here. So we're almost filled to our stock count here. Very good. This means that at least tentatively, we are making more jewelry than we're selling, which makes total sense considering we only had half of our stores selling it. Now that we're starting to get more stores selling it, we can start to see the volume of 3 stores, which we should be overproducing for. But are we overproducing for 4 stores? That's what I really want to figure out. And it'll determine whether or not I need more machines in that factory or whether that factory is done or we need another factory. I do want to also make a factory for cheap jewelry as well. I have a good supply. I'd like to do that. So we're going to take a look at that as well because there's going to sell cheap jewelry at higher volumes. We're also going to want to have a bigger factory for that. Okay, so we have all that stuff done. I think I'm okay with going one more day. However, taxes are due today. Let's not forget that. We're at 5.7 million. So let's go ahead and pay our taxes to the IRS. We're going to go out the door. I could take a taxi, but I'm going to drive my dirty truck, my dirty SUV. 10 IRS is here, I think, right? You are indeed. All right, let's go do this. Now, why do I say we're going to prove unequivocally that this is, worth it or not, right? Well, I want to take a look at something. You can go to the Econoview anytime, okay? And you can see, you can break down what your sales are. All right. So if we take a look at, say, the middle finger, for example, yesterday it made 57,000. The day before that was 66. A little higher sales yesterday. But if we take a look at this, we can break down each individual sale. And we can see that we made $43,000. Let's do 43,680. I'm going to punch it into a calculator. 43,680 in expensive jewelry. This is impossible to do without a factory. We cannot do this. Yesterday we made, okay, very consistent numbers previous days. Not sure what happened there, but very consistent numbers previous days. Just under $50,000 in that. If we go over to, which is the other one, industry jewels, I think. Look, $107,000. We sold 107, 109, 105. Yesterday was a little light, right? But we can use the light numbers. That's fine. So $93,600 in those jewels as well. So those two together, it's $137,280. That is profit. That is entirely because of that factory. Okay. Now I can go over to Midtown Riches. We're not going to get any expensive jewelry in our best store. This is without the best store. Okay. Powered. So we're probably going to double our number here. We could probably, respectfully, I think we can just double the number here because this place is going to sell, and we'll see what the actual number is, but I think this place is going to sell 137,000 or so dollars worth of jewelry today. Okay. Or at least every day as we deliver it. And then Best Jewels is still doesn't have anything either. It doesn't have any, barely any cheap jewelry either. It didn't have it here, right? This day was very light too. Okay. So if we put all those together, assuming that today, we'll see the actual number in a second, but assuming that Midtown Riches today sells $137,000 worth of jewelry, which is just a little bit over what Industry Jewels did today, that's over $250,000 per day, enabled entirely because of that factory. Okay? If you just have that alone, how many days does it take to completely pay off your factory? Right? Well, that factory cost $5.9 million to build. I know that because the blueprint says it's $5.9 million to build it. Okay, so you divide that by 275,000, you get 21 days. In 21 days, profit, and that's again without our best store necessarily operating it. It could be doing more, right? And without that fourth store operating at all, we have that much revenue. That's not profit; it's revenue, right? We have that much revenue, but labor costs, I mean, we can take a look at what the labor cost of the factory is, but it's very small, right? Relative to the money it's making, it's very small. Okay. So when we get all these stores set up, it's likely somewhere around 400 grand per day from just the expensive jewelry. I mean, that is what, a 13-day thing? You're going to make 13 days of revenue and completely cover the cost of that factory. We're going to go ahead and pay the taxes here. $455,000. There it is. Okay, so what I want to do now is I need time to progress a little bit so that I can see how each of these stores do. And I don't know exactly which day it is, right? Because some days are going to sell better than others. There's some refining we can do in terms of hours that people are working to kind of try to offset this, but I want to show you like wages don't matter that much when you're factoring in this equation. The startup cost is the biggest thing, and that's $5.9 million. That's why I weighted against that. The wages are not that big of a deal. If we come down to ongoing expenses, negative interest rates, we paid just $9,000 last time. That's great. I want to see, let's go to, whoops, I wanted to click Luxman there. Luxman, salaries, $4,000. Okay. $4,000 every day. Rent $321. So we have $4,500 in expenses. $4,740. Like it's not a big deal, right? It's nothing burger relative to how much money we can make per day from the products that it produces. Now the factory has huge startup costs. Yes, absolutely. But that huge investment directly counts against your profits. And on top of that, that huge investment is going to pay you back by enabling you to create products that you cannot get otherwise, right? Now, if you're creating a factory to create things that you can import, like cheap jewelry, for example, well, now you have to do the math relative to how much it costs you to buy the product. That's where it changes a little bit. if you're setting up a factory, for example, to make a Zonoman phone, you can't import that. So that's just the way that is. You can't import that. So what's the cost of me importing the goods that I'm processing, right? You could factor that into it too. So maybe reduce this by, I don't know, what's the going rate for those? Let's say, where's the purchasing agent? What's the going rate for those right now? So if we go over to, I haven't actually looked at this yet. So it's 438 each, right? So 438 each. So if we're selling them for, on average, between all the stores, what is our sale price for these on average? We can't look at Best Jewels. I mean, I guess I could. So it's 1,800. Let's just do the averages. I want to crank the math. I think you guys will appreciate the math here, right? 1,800. We can go over to inventory. We can say that we sell expensive jewelry for 1,560. And again, everybody's game is different, right? The economies are individual. They're not consistent amongst from playthrough to playthrough. So your prices that you can sell things for and how popular things are, it will vary. 1950 for that one. And then the price we sell at Midtown Riches is 2130. You get 1,860. So that's our average sell price for this. We're going to minus 438. And so we make on average $1,422 of profit per product it sells. All right. If you want to break the math down on that, even, you could say, okay, for each of those products that we're producing, that's what it is. Okay. That's our core profit. Every machine in there makes 48 per day. Okay. We have 5 machines. So we have a total of 240 of them being made every day. Right. So if you want to look at it that way, okay, every single day, the products we produce are generating $341,280 worth of profit from the sale of those goods, minus the wages, which are fairly peanuts, rent, fairly peanuts, etc. for the stores that we're selling them in. So if you want to deduct those things for wages and all those things, fine. Let's take 20 grand off that. I don't think it's that high, but let's just throw 20 grand out the window there. 321,280. That's what we end up with, right? 321,280. So in order to, recover our entire startup cost, if you take $5.9 million and divide it by 321,280, you get 18.3. So at our profit for expensive jewelry, we are completely recovering our entire setup cost every 18 and a half days. Fair? You betcha. For something this big? Absolutely. That's huge. And that's with 4 stores, selling as many as we are creating. If we are creating more, if we are building more of them than we are selling, then we can open up another store. So it's Sunday, day 203. Okay. We have 2.3 million in the bank, and I want to try to avoid the negative interest rate that's going to hit me in Monday. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to take a look at our purchasing agent first. We want to add up all these numbers of what we're going to have to pay. And then we want to realize that these numbers are going to keep going up as we go. We're only halfway done with today, but we need to have this investment made by 2 p.m. So we don't have a lot of information to go on other than we know that sales will continue to happen from our stores, which means we're going to have less in stock in the warehouse, and therefore these values are going to rise slightly. I don't know exactly by how much, but they're going to rise slightly. Why don't we give ourselves like maybe 150K cushion? Okay, so we have 276,892, 273, 451, 3384, 43285, and a goose egg. Mental math says this is a little bit over $1 million. So we made 497 yesterday. We can probably expect somewhere in the vicinity of that today. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. Don't know. So we want to leave ourselves a bit of cushion. So I think I'm going to make a $1.5 million investment. I think is a pretty good call here. So if I take and go to Vantander Bank, call them before 2 o'clock, and I say I want a new investment, and I'm going to go, let's say $1.5 million. All right. So I have 885 left. If we can count on the numbers going up for purchasing agent, we don't exactly know how much, but we can count on these numbers going a little higher. Hopefully, the numbers that we made here will pop into this, and we will have just enough for this import, or at least as close to just enough as possible. We want to get as close to this number as possible. And then whatever's remaining, that's what we get charged the interest rate on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and quickly sleep. Let's go to 7:18 a.m., I guess. At this point, we can't do anything with our budget. We can't make new investments. We can't, whatever. The only thing we can do is withdraw the investment. Okay, that's one thing we can do. So we're at 1.3 million. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened. For the purchasing agent, we can come down. We can see 361,663. So that did go up quite a bit. 317,619. So we're already at this point close to 700K. That puts us over 700K, and that puts us, I mean, I think that's pretty damn close. I think we have just enough. Yeah, I think we do. So that's pretty dang good. We'll go ahead and do a really quick workout here to bump us up past the time here. Well, let's go get something to eat. I'm going to be productive today. All right, I'm not going to just waste the day. I am going to be productive today, but we're going to see how much money we have here. The hope is that we get the deliveries. We want all of the deliveries to happen. Daniel Brown is here. Expensive jewelry. Yeah. We'll get that taken care of. They're almost in stock. I know it seems like they're not, but all of these are actually for cheap jewelry, not expensive jewelry. So the cheap jewelry is the import. Okay, we had $113,000 remaining. Well, actually, we had a little more than that because of the negative interest rate. So we go to this. We only got hit for $9,000 in the negative interest rate. So we had all of these ping, and then what we had left, we got 9,000 in negative interest rate. So, man, I think we left ourselves a pretty respectable cushion there. It worked out pretty well. And we still have the investment, which is sitting here. I guess it made $3,000. So that's neat. Cool. So now we have cheap jewelry in stock, and when we go tomorrow, we'll have that. Do we have enough expensive jewelry being produced to fully stock our shelves every day, though? Right? I don't know what our best sales days are, but we can take a look at that. So if I want to go to, let's say, logistics manager, probably an easier way to see this is just to go through this view. So we can go to industry jewels, and industry jewels has 296 out of 300, right? That's great. If we go to middle finger has 296 out of 200 minimum stock. So that's interesting. Oh, this is warehouse stock. No. Yeah, this is warehouse stock. Not a good way to do it. Hang on. We want to go to best jewels, inventory and pricing. So you have 300 in stock out of 300. That's great. Middle finger starting off the day with the 200. Yep, that's good. Garment district doesn't sell as many. We wanted to say Midtown Riches. Here we go. Midtown Riches has 200 in stock. I could probably up that a little bit, right? And then finally we have industry jewels down here, and they are full as well. So every single jewelry store is starting this morning full on its expensive jewelry. That was the goal, right? And then on top of that, we still have 65 left in the warehouse that's producing them. And our core warehouse where we're making the deliveries to the individual stores from has 296 still in stock. So we are overproducing expensive jewelry now. We have capacity to open another jewelry store if we want to. And I intend to open one more. This time we're going to open it in Murray Hill because it's the only neighborhood we're not in yet. And I think we need to say hi to Mr. Moreau. So if I was to go over like this and I was to say Murray Hill, let's highlight Murray Hill right here. So he has Bylgawi, Bylgawi, or yeah, I think that's how you say it. I don't know what that is. Bylgawi jewelry, and he has, it looks like 3 locations for that chain. Maybe 4 locations for that chain. So he is definitely in the jewelry game here. We could acquire one of his stores. It would cost us a considerable amount of money, but consider that we don't have to equip the store. We don't have to furnish the stores. We have potentially a very large location over there, which is nice. I don't want that one. This one would be okay. Open in 2 hours. It's a C1, which I think means I can copy my design. Yep. So it's a C1 there. This one over here is a D2. This is a 40. I like this one more. It's only going to cost me $4 million. I will have enough to buy this by the end of the week. And it's a great location. I can get into the jewelry business. He's selling Zonoman smartwatches and Artifish smartwatches. interesting. He's only selling these though. I can switch to make sure I put the headphones and stuff in there too. So we have opportunities to expand here by simply acquiring one of his businesses. Because if I look over at, let's see, retail. There are some retail locations in here though. Hang on. Maybe it's better not to do that. 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15. Okay, so they're all 15 locations anyway. So the only way we're getting a really good location is by acquiring him. I like the idea of acquiring him, even though it's a high startup cost, because it means that we take out a competitor, right? That's one less jewelry store I have to compete with. He has the only jewelry stores in the entire area. He has a monopoly on jewelry. So we can acquire one of his businesses, which enters us into the market, and also removes one of the competitors. Because if I start fresh, then I have 4 competition. If I take one of his, then I have 3. And then I can work on acquiring his other ones too. I don't really want this one. There's bad traffic score. I'm at a lot of marketing in this one. This one will be all right. And I think this one will be all right too. How much will it cost for this one? 75. 7 million. I like 4 million more as a startup investment. I like that more. Yeah. We're going to go with the 4 million. We're going to acquire this guy, this business right here from him to get into this market. And I think that will max out what we can sell versus what we're making. And then if you want all these notices to go away, we just need the cheap jewelry to get delivered to the stores, which unfortunately requires us to go yet another day. I know I'm not being productive today. I said I was going to be, but I didn't. I wanted all those notices to go away. And so now we're going to see those notices go away because we can actually sell cheap jewelry in those stores. And finally, all of these things go away. There it is. Finally, all the alerts are gone. And if we take a look, again, what are we making, right? Well, Best Jewels is in stock, has stuff in stock now, 50,000. What is Midtown Riches doing? Midtown Riches sold 83,000 here on this day. Yeah, and what is Industry Jewels doing? Industry Jewels is doing quite well. I wonder if, you know, the thing about Midtown Riches though is it's the highest price per unit. Like it's the best margin, but we also have more competition there, right? I still have to deal with Zhao. Speaking of which, I am on top of Zhao once more. So yeah, I still have to deal with his jewelry businesses, and he has quite a few of them, doesn't he? He's got 2 of them now. Yeah. Martinique Jewelers, and I wonder if I could acquire one of his. 8 million. Yikes. It's not even that good. But I could acquire one of his too. I want to get into Murray Hill though. So that's what we're going to work on doing here in a second. And I can't really take a loan to do it. I need $4 million to acquire him. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get $4 million. So while we're waiting to get enough money to buy this jewelry store from Moreau, what I need to do is I want to start using some of these buildings that I'm renting, right? I got a lot of buildings that we're renting. So I'm highlighting Lower Manhattan right now because adding this business won't piss anyone off, and I can do probably some cool things with it. I've got this building here. It's 30 and 49, and I'm kind of thinking about maybe getting a nightclub. I already bought 2 nightclubs from Ingrid, and then I closed them because I really didn't like them. But I think getting a nightclub in this area would be better off because it's a higher margin area. It's a better area for it, and there's a lot more demand for it as well. Sorry, let me just go back to the business manager. There's a lot more demand for it as well. So if I go to Lower Manhattan, go to demand, I don't really want to get into clothing yet. I'm just not feeling it, just not into it. There's been a lot of times where it's just short on stock, short on inventory. I'm trying to kind of avoid going into that. But if we were going to do a clothing store, this would be the place to do it. We just have to be able to get cheap clothing. We can't do expensive stuff. And there actually is quite a need here. So we'll probably do it. I wasn't really getting into it because I don't want to deal with the shortages. There's a lot of inventory there, but we could do it. It objectively is a good idea to do in Lower Manhattan right now. I was looking at nightclub stuff though, and I could even do a gym, honestly. We could make our own gym. That's not a bad deal in Lower Manhattan. And then the nightclub is like a coat check fee. You know, there's only one nightclub there. 7 nightclub cover charge here, $37.74. Where is the nightclub in Lower Manhattan? Where is this? If I go to here and I say nightclub, where is that? It's over here. So this nightclub is owned by Maria Sheets. It's a decent one too. It has a pretty good interesting. I don't think you're open enough for me to see right now. Closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's interesting. You have margaritas, coat check fees. Yep, all these things. So we be competing with her, or do we just buy her out? I think for the sake of saving money, I think we just compete with her a little bit. I think we can get this location here. It's slightly better in terms of the stats for it. It's slightly better to do this one. So why don't we just start a nightclub really quick? Because we can start doing that. And then maybe we'll look into a clothing store too. We can start looking into opening up into that too. So let's go to nightclub. And I'm going to call it Bumping Nights. I don't know, man. Bumping Nights. We can brainstorm a better name for that later. So the cover charge right now, going price is $18.87. We're going to see about maybe just undercutting them to $18. And then the weekend cover charge is at $37.74. We're going to undercut them to $36. $37. I just want to make sure that we're under them at all times. Now, the schedules doesn't make any sense in this business, right? So we need to adjust the hours as far as I can see. So most places are not open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is probably because there's not a whole lot of activity on those days. We can open, let's say, at 8 o'clock, and we want to be open Friday. We want to be open, I guess, until 4 a.m., let's say. We'll do that. And then the same thing here. Why don't we just do this? Copy this to all days. There it is. So we have the same hours through this. And then Thursday, we'll go ahead and say we're not open there. So we start at 8 a.m. on Thursday. Come through for Friday. We're closed here. And so it's not a very high making business is what I'm saying. Like, it's something interesting to have, and I want to have at least one, and I think Lower Manhattan's a good place for that. But we're not going to make a whole lot of them. They're closed most of the day, right? They're closed most of the week, really. So it's not really all that great, but we're going to have one. Okay. That's fine. So we'll do that. So there's a nightclub. We'll start to develop that. We have 30 and 39 here and 30 thing here. I think maybe we could look into getting one of these larger places. 75, 37. I think maybe this large building here. Yeah. We could look into grabbing this and making this our clothing store. This is owned by Zhao. So if we're going to be pissing Zhao off later, we want to get this place now. I think if we're going to do their clothing store, let's start it here. Because it's not going to make him mad. It's in the opposite district of where he is. It doesn't matter. So we're going to say clothing store right here. All right. This is going to be best threads. I have no idea. We're going to have to get luxury clothing and stuff going for this, but there's this. So 2 businesses that we can work with there, okay? As we get forward in the day a little bit more, actually, I kind of want to just go ahead and call Bahood and have them all designed for me. That's fine. We can get them up and running really quickly. Clothing is going to be harder to get up and running quickly because we need to import it, and it's only Tuesday, so we're not going to be able to do that just yet. But we can get everything else going. So I think clothing store, I'll design myself because I can't get it up and running very quickly. We have the alcohol in stock in our warehouse to get a nightclub going, though. So I think we're going to get Bahood on the phone. We're going to configure that nightclub design. Bahood is, when are you open? 8 a.m. Perfect. I want you. I don't know if I have a nightclub design. I don't know if I do. We're looking for Bumping Nights. Silly name. And we have Dark, Rustic, Hairland, Duncan. Yeah, you know what? Let's go to the blueprint. Oh, I like the design of this one here. Maxed monotone nightclub. Look at this. It's very cool. I like it. A little monotone, but yeah, I kind of like it. Let's do this one by Jake. Thank you, Jake, whoever you are. We'll go ahead and add this to our library right there. And then we'll go ahead and call Christian one more time. We'll say that we want this for, look at all those streets that I'm renting. Bumpin' Nights, 206. Let's go and put the monotone nightclub in there. $276,000. We'll go ahead and have that done. And then we'll just have a nightclub ready to go. Now I need to get my DJ back. Because I did fire them. Gotta bring them back. And I'm pretty sure they're not still on the list. Nope. Factory workers and customer service. That's fine. We're going to be setting up another factory as well. But they're going to do a lot of things in this video. I'm trying to rush it. Because I know I'm getting low on time already here too. By the way, I'm back on top bigly. 3.6 million per week. So we're good there too. Let me get my headhunters, customer service, factory workers. I think I have enough of these, but yeah, I have enough of these. Let's have you now search for DJs, please. And just make sure that they don't have, if it's a 4-day-a-week thing, that's actually fine. I just don't want them to say 5 days a week because I'm not open 5 days a week here. We can't do the no weekends. We can't say no night shifts. And I guess I don't really care about everything else. So whatever, no evening shifts. We'll have that off too. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and have them look for DJs for us as well. In the meantime, today, so we do have time available. We just have to actually go do it. We need to get equipment for a clothing store. And we're going to configure that and design that ourselves because, you know, this is the game. We want to do that. Now, I forget where the equipment is. I want to say it's AJ's, but they might have changed it. So let me see. Clothing racks are here. Yes. AJ's has what we need for clothing stores. Everything. Uniform here, product panels. Yeah, I think just clothing racks, changing rooms, etc. So we're on our way to AJ's. That's where we're going. So let's go over there. I'm going to grab a bunch of stuff in the vehicle. I probably should just call them to have it all delivered. I mean, yeah, I mean, I should just do that and then have it, and then we'll design it on Wednesday. Let's just do that. I mean, I want to like go over there and shop around and everything, but it just makes sense. It makes too much sense to just click something else. Best threads right here. I want it delivered tomorrow afternoon. Oh, sorry, today. Wow, never mind. This is better. Do we want big racks or little racks? I guess that's just a matter of opinion, isn't it? Personally, I'm more of a big rack person. We'll go ahead and do that. And we'll make... this is a big store. That's why we have big racks. I'm going to go with 10. I think it's probably too many. Let's go 12. Changing rooms. Let's go 4. It's a big store. Doesn't matter. We're going to have regular cash registers. These are 20 customers each, so we're going to want 4 of them for this store. I am certain I'm going to need more than 12 racks. Sorry, more than 12 big racks. We're going to go 20. I know we're going to need it. If nothing else, we need it for the sake of being able to have men's and women's clothes, cheap and expensive. There's a lot of different SKUs. So I'm even going to go higher. I'm going to go to 30. And then cabinets with drawers. Maybe we go, let's say 8 of those. We need a cleaning station. We need... I guess these product signs are kind of cool to tell people what section they're looking at, right? Probably a good idea there. Now, before anyone says it, I know that the checkout counter gives you more capacity than the cash register. I know it does. I've been playing this game a long time. So many things people tell me that are just basic one-on-one things. I know. It's a choice. It's a stylistic choice to have the cash registers and counters next to them as opposed to this grocery getter thing, okay? This is great for groceries. If I have a fresh food market, I'll do this, okay? But I like the regular cash registers for these things. All right. I want to do storage shelves. We need lots of storage in there. Let's go 10. And trash bin, uniform locker, baskets, probably 2 or 3 baskets. I think the capacity on these is 30. So I'll need 3. Do you want to sell anything else in our clothing store? Yes. Also, I'm going to want pallet shelves for the sake of adding to my warehouse. So I want to increase the storage in my warehouse. So I'm going to add 8 pallet shelves to this order just so I have them, and then I can go put them in the warehouse. What else can we do here? We can put signs. Room dividers could be interesting for design's sake. Maybe we'll get like 10 of these things. Could make the design interesting. Shop barriers I don't think are necessary. Neither are the ropes. Job board probably not needed anymore. I'm pretty beyond the job board. I think that's all I want from here. And then we need security stuff as well. So we'll have this delivered today. Okay, that'll happen. And then I want essentials appliances. We need to call them at 10 o'clock. They're not quite open yet. Okay. Now, do I have a relationship with the importer for clothes? Did I do that yet? Purchasing agents. You are the martinis and drinks. This is how we already have this stuff. 1,500, 1,000, right? I've already purchased the materials, the stuff for this. But here's our clothing. So we have, you know, product shortages. This is why I didn't want to get into clothing. I'm just constantly dealing with shortages in clothing. But it looks like we're kind of starting to get into it now. So we're going to cancel this order. All we can do is get the cheap stuff. We're going to put it in warehouse 1. We're just not going to use warehouse 2 until we're ready for it. We're going to say clothing store 34 each. Let's start with 1,000 each. I know it's probably not enough, but we're going to start with 1,000 of each of these. Let's go over here really quick and fill up the gas tank. And we'll head over to where our clothing store is located, which is this big building here. We're going to head over to that so we can start to design it once they show up, or once the stuff shows up. But at 10 o'clock, I'm going to, you know, call Essential Appliances and get their stuff too. Although, like, I'm already over here. I don't have that much security stuff to... I'm just going to do it. Like, why? Why spend the extra delivery fee? Because I can? Because it's very easy? Yeah. I guess, but I'm already right here. So why don't we just park right here and go in and get the stuff? It's not hard to do. And it's pretty close by. We'll just grab this. Okay, so for security purposes, we're going to need... It's a big store. So I'm thinking we need... let's go with 6 of these domes. We'll grab a sign, and we'll also want 2 of these panels. Let's grab 1, 2, 3, 4 security guard lockers. That will be needed as well. Go ahead and place that order. That's 26,000. That gives me the cameras, the things at the doors, and the things for security guards, which is pretty much all you need for security. Right? Yeah, I think so. Next is bathroom stuff. It's a big store again, so I don't know how many stalls we need. Let's go with 4. We'll go ahead and get 4 modular sinks as well. We don't technically need the soap dispensers and all that stuff, but you know, we can go get those later. Just want to get the requirements set up first. So all of this stuff can go in here too, and that pretty much fills the none of it up, right? 16 out of 18. We have room for one more thing. Hold on, is the flatbed already in there? It is not. Okay, add the cart there too. And then one more thing in here. What can we get? Well, how about a speaker? Can we get the speaker? Yeah, let's grab the speaker. We need music as they walk through the door. That's kind of the thing. They'll yell at me for if I don't have it. So that fills the none of it. And then we can just go over to our clothing store and begin to place these things. And by the time we really get that done at all, the Anderson delivery will be done. I guess I'm going this way because this road is all of a sudden busy. This is how that goes. Drive through the city here. I think it's the next road. I guess I could do it in this one. I'm just not sure where the door is. It's probably right here. So if I park on the street here, yeah. I guess we'll go down this road here. All the way at the end. Yes, I'm so impatient, I must pass you. Now we're not going to have any parking nearby. Oh, right there. Right there. I'll park right there. And give me that. God, I love auto park. Okay, so we'll get out. Get our flatbed. Let's bring all of our security stuff in, or at least a bunch of it in. And we can start taking a look at what kind of floor space we have, and then also move the delivery zone. Oh, it's way over here. That's unfortunate. Lots and lots of space. Yeah. Oh, security panels. Oh, I'm going to need more. Yeah, because there's 2 sets of doors. So I'm going to need another 2 security panels too. Security sign. Be like, hey, we're under surveillance. Sure. Guard lockers. All go back here in this big stock room back here. We'll, let's say, I don't know. How about we put them along this wall back here? It's fine with me. This gives us the ability to have 4 security guards at this place. We're going to need stuff like this. I think it depends on what version of the game the Nightclub design was made for. Like, everything depends on when they made that design. Because if they made that design before security, then, you know, there's not going to be any security amenities and I don't have to adjust it. But almost certainly they made the design before bathrooms were a thing. So definitely going to need that too. And I have one more bathroom stall in there I have to go get, but that's fine. All right, so this delivery is going to happen at 2. Once it does, clothing racks and stuff will be ready to be placed. I'll go ahead and position everything kind of the way I want in here. And then I'll bring you back in once I've got an idea of kind of where everything is. We're going to need more decorations and stuff too. This delivery is not going to be everything we need, but we'll go with it, right? As much as we can here. I'll be right back. You know what I might do here for this location? I might make this the new priorities. You guys remember that from a previous season? I think it was last season even. We had a store called Priorities, and it was essentially just an everything store, where a store that sold everything. It's kind of like the Walmart of the game. This is a very large place. I've got a huge amount of like clothing racks and such, but even with all these clothing racks, there are 30 of them, it only takes up this much of the store. Now I could, you know, space things out a little bit better maybe and have big defined walkways and different sections, but there's a lot of empty space if I do that. I'm thinking instead we get the, you know, the jewelry back here and the electronics section over here, and you know, we could maybe put some books over here too. We don't need to sell every product in the game, you know, like we're not gonna have hot dogs made or anything. It's only just the types of products where people walk in and they, you know, grab the baskets and stuff and get their own products. It's kind of what I'm thinking here. Employees that are checking people out, they're gonna go right in here, and they'll be behind these little barricades like this. I think is probably fine to check people out here. I don't know if I need to, like, I'm tempted to just sort of maybe angle these out and just have them be, you know, like allow people to get out of there, you know. But right now they're trapped in there, right? And I don't know if that's gonna matter, but whatever. Bathroom's done. Looks pretty good. I mean, it looks as good as it can anyway, without having the hand soap and dryers and everything. And yeah, that's the setup for today. It's 5:30. That's the setup is done for today, and we're not going to get any clothes in this store, but I figured, you know, I have the extra display tables for the electronics and the extra jewelry cases and things. All those things are in my apartment, so I felt like maybe I just deliver it to this store and we make this the new priorities. I even have art for it already, you know, from last season, so maybe that's going to be what this store is. It's a pretty good location, and it won't be interrupted by any of our rivals or anything, so it should be a pretty good amount. And then, of course, this allows us to sort of reevaluate the merits of the everything store with the new balance, which I still think it's going to work really well, just having everything in the store. So I think it'll still work well, and we're going to go ahead and do that. So instead of it being what was that, best threads, right? Instead of it being best threads as a clothing store, you do kind of have to figure out what kinds of products you want to sell, because your primary product is what's going to sell the most, but everything else will be good. And I think priorities is going to have, let's do CS Nice for everybody. I like that. Security guards will, of course, wear the security uniforms, and the cleaning crew will wear, let's say, customer service blue is fine. So everybody's got uniforms now there as well. Once we have people there, there's 4 cash registers plus the security guard lockers, and there should be 4 security. There we go. I can scroll down now. 4 security guard lockers too. So, and it will be a 24/7 store. We'll just keep it open all the time, unless we start to see that there's basically nobody there. We'll evaluate each of the days, see when people are there, when they're not, and then we'll start selecting our hours from there. Because it's every product. I suspect, though, because it's consumer purchasing products, I suspect we probably don't need to be open until like before 5, probably 6 a.m. I think 6 a.m. is probably good here. And then we can go, let's say we close at 11. We'll keep it like that instead. Okay. So we need to populate this with employees too. But I need to go to my apartment and sleep, as well as get the stuff that's out of it to bring that stuff over there. And then tomorrow morning, our nightclub will be done. Bahood. Right, so we're going to want to go check that out, see how that works, get employees stocked for that. We have some DJs that my guys have been looking for here for quite some time now, so we should have a good assortment of DJs to choose from. Let's go ahead and do this. There we are, $761,000. Christian Bahood says, hey, we got everything done for you. That's great, thanks. So we're going to grab this one. This has got some product display tables in it. I think the other one has the jewelry stuff in it. So we'll be able to sell those types of things. We just won't have clothing in our clothing store for a while. This is food. This is a whole bunch of fresh food, just extra fresh food, so I can keep restocking my fridge without having to go anywhere. Yeah, I don't know if that's a pro tip, but it's a thing I'm doing. Just a whole bunch of fresh food right there. And we'll go ahead and add that. It looks like I don't have jewelry display shelves. I thought I did in my apartment, but I guess I don't have that. And then I have the 8 pallet shelves as well that I need to add to my warehouse, which isn't important to do yet, because that's not going to matter until our shipment on Monday, but it's still taking up space in my primary vehicle. And I'm debating on getting a different primary vehicle. If I'm going to be setting up businesses in all of these different locations, I feel like I want to drive around one of those like UPS trucks. There's one of these. I want to drive around one of those. There's 40 capacity for stuff in those. I don't know if it wouldn't be as cool as driving around in a none of it, but it doesn't have auto parking or anything, but it's got a lot of storage space, and I think it might be worth having. I don't remember where I'm going. I'm supposed to be going to my warehouse, and my warehouse is located on this street. Indeed it is. That's where we're going. I already knew that. Okay, we've had a couple of deliveries to the new clothing store, Priorities, right? And you know, mostly decorative stuff. We've had a lot of decorative stuff delivered. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this car because I do keep bumping it. Yeah, this is way more expensive than using the train. I get it, but whatever. I can afford it. All right, we've had our deliveries to our new Priorities store, which I never actually renamed, did I? I looked at it and then I didn't rename it. So let's come down and do that. It is called Best Threads. It is not called Best Threads. It is called hello, caps lock. Priorities. There he goes. We'll get the artwork and stuff changed for that too. Okay, so this is Bumping Nights. Name pending. Did you think this was gonna be quiet in here? I didn't. Yeah. Definitely not quiet in here. Got drinks fridge for soda. Lots of cocktail stuff. Sure. Okay. Great. Let's go ahead and get out of the woofer. I need to get a couple of things, right? I didn't notice security in the place. I need to go and take a look at that too. First, let's get our employees sorted out here, okay? We're gonna need, I think, a couple of customer service people, right? Let's business type. Man, am I gonna? There it is, right there. Bumping Nights. Okay, so schedule shows 2 cash registers, a coat check, so that's a third, and then a cleaner. So I need 3 customer service, a cleaning station, and a DJ. And we're not open today, but we will be open tomorrow. We could try to be open tonight. It's 11:57 a.m. We could be open tonight. Yeah. 8, 9, 10, 11. So we just go like this, and we go 8, 9, 10, 11 like this. So we'll just be open until 4. Just do the full night. Yeah. Well, no, not like that. That's not how you do it. You do it like this. There you go. So we'll be open tonight, starting tonight. Okay, so we need to get those employees sorted out. So we're gonna take a look at our candidates, and we don't really have many like really good people for cleaning, but we can train them. So I think we'll take you and you. You don't really want much, and you can train. These 2 cleaning people, honestly, you don't just need one full-time. I'm not even entirely sure we need that. A part-time cleaning person would be better, wouldn't it? I think so. We're gonna hire Crystal Cox for that, and then we have customer service, lots of it, part-time people coming in from the headhunter. I think full-time. There's enough hours here, I think. The thing is, it's a nightclub. So like, how many hours is it going to really be totally open? So total working hours in this place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So effectively, it's 8 hours a day for 5 days. Yeah, we could do that. And then an extra 4 hours here. So 8 hours. Oh, you know what? We need Monday morning, don't we? Do we need Monday morning? I mean, that's Sunday night. It's open Sunday night and then into Monday morning, right? That's how it works. Yeah. So 8, 16, 32. Then we're going to add another 8 on top of that. So that's 40 hours. We can have full-time employees. So let's do that. We're going to say candidates. I did the part-time cleaning thing. I still think that's fine. Although if I am doing that, it's only it's going to be working like 3 hours a night. Yeah, 2 hours a night for the cleaner. We'll see how that works. For customer service, let's go full-time. No afternoon shifts won't be a problem. So you'll get hired. And we'll make sure that's no night shifts. That's not going to work for me. So we'll come back over to you. No morning shifts. I don't know if that counts, like 3 a.m. Does that count as morning or is that still a night? This one's better for me, I think. We'll take Gladys full-time, no morning shifts. No peaceful, no cleaning shifts. Here we go. We'll take you. So you 3 plus... Let's go with like another part-time cleaner here. We'll take Thomas Flores. And you guys will all be hired to bumping nights. All right. Then we need a couple of other things. We're going to need a DJ. We have lots of DJs to choose from here. Preferably one that, you know what? Bronze health insurance is fine. We'll take you, bumping nights, hire you there. And is that going to be enough people for this to rock and roll with? I mean, we have the coat check person too, but I think so. Can you occupy this, please? Let me see what we got. Everybody's working every hour of the day, and they're all happy. The part-time person works 28 hours per week. Everybody else is working about 40, and we're all good. Okay, great. Now, I could say, oh, yeah, we should open tonight, but I actually don't think we should open tonight. I'm gonna change my mind. We're going to keep it temporarily closed because I want to get the stuff delivered. It's not delivered here yet, and I just need to hook it up to our logistics manager. So, Mr. Logistics Manager, let's have you scroll down real quick. We're going to go unsigned. Yet we want to go to bumping nights, name pending. We want to make sure you put stuff in stock here. So let's just make sure you have, let's go 400 for each of these. I think that works for me. 400 for each of these for now. And then for the soda cans, we'll go 500. I don't care. That gets delivered tomorrow morning. Very good. And then we want another destination for you as well. And this is going to be priorities right here. The original priorities. It begins again. And right now it's just clothing stuff, but we're going to add other stuff to that right now. In fact, I'm going to do that. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to grab some more stuff here. I think priorities needs another 2 of these. And I think I'm going to need some of these security cameras on the wall. It's just their pattern. The coverage pattern on these cameras, I think will work better for what I'm trying to do in that store. So we're going to get 4 of these and then another 2 of these. Yep, I have it. I guess we'll take a couple more of these signs too. No, just 2 more. 2 more signs. There we go. So 2 more panels, 2 security cameras. Or sorry, 4 more security cameras. Yep, that's correct. Okay. Do I need any more of these? Probably not. I do need 1 more shopping basket. I don't think I need another shopping basket. It's just that I've already added 3, and it's weird to have like not even on both sides. So whatever. Can I buy that sofa from you? Oh, I don't need to buy the sofa. I've already delivered it with Ica. Yeah, I delivered a bunch of stuff with Ica just now. Is there anything else? I guess the speaker. I need another speaker. Probably get 2 more speakers, but I just want to have, more music in the store throughout the store. All right. There we go. So we're going to put this in the none of it, and then we're going to head back over to priorities, and I will design using all the extra aesthetic stuff that I got. There's already a flatbed in there, so we'll just put this on the road. So like I had potted plants and stuff delivered, and all stuff similar to that. All right, so can I get in the vehicle, please? There we go. I'll see you guys over there.